Hello, welcome Magic lovers. The Rogue Wednesday deck of the week is Captain Sisay. This one has been on my list for a while. Somebody asked for it some time back, and I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. This used to be a pretty real deck in the format, and it went to the wayside for some reason. My guess is because of all the removal in the format, but it's still got a pretty good plan B of, you know, ramping a bunch and then casting all those big creatures. So, I just kind of followed a guide online for how to build this deck, and then I added, you know, some of the, it's a toolbox deck, so you kind of tune it for what you think will be good in the format. So I played around with it a little bit and tweaked some of the cards. What's interesting now is that Grook Wildspeaker is actually searchable by Captain Sisay, because it's a legendary card. You can also get lands. There are a few of them that are legendary. You can also get Umezawa's Jit. So it's not just creatures. It is definitely not just creatures. So it's an interesting deck. It's a cool ramp toolbox kind of deck where you're hoping to get to untap with Captain Sisay and then get the best possible creature for the matchup. And so, you know, with that, it can be a difficult card to a deck to play because, you know, toolbox decks, you kind of need to know what you're going for, and sometimes the decisions can be not trivial. But it should be interesting nonetheless. So let's take some matches and see how it goes. All right, I got a match. I am on the play. I am playing against Talrand. And this hand looks fine. We'll keep it. Crucible of Worlds plus the fetch land is awesome. Scavenging Ooze, pretty good. Mana Tithe, pretty good. Good chance we can get our opponent with Mana Tithe. I don't think I'm going to delay the Scavenging Ooze. No ramp. And I don't think I'm going to get anything with the Worldly Tutor just yet. Alright, I'm actually going to do that. Could get Spell Snared or something, but so could Scavenging Ooze. And let's play the Savannah. Do I just play Captain Sisay? I think no. I've got a lot of other things going on here. So let's play this thing. Let's go green-white. Play Scavenging Ooze. Gonna let her counter that. I want to counter whatever they try to counter my Captain Sisay with. Possibly Talrand as well. Alright. Looks like no counters there. They gain 1 life. I don't have 2 basics yet, but now I do. Looks like I don't get a counter Talrand because of that ramp spell. Unless they don't have a land. Nope, they play a land first. Alright. Rapid hybridization. Let's Mana Tithe that. What do I get? I could look at my library first. I've got Titania in there, which kind of beats this token plan. It's probably pretty good. Let's see what we got here. I could just play a giant Dragon Lord Dramoka, and then everything I do after that is uncounterable. That seems pretty good too. Let's hope we don't have to worry about another removal spell. Although Dragon Lord Dramoka is now kind of more of a problem. Don't have to play around Daze or Force of Will here. Just say go. And let's hope that I can still get Titania next turn, because that would be exceptional. Factor Fiction. Alright, that's looking promising. You can have that and that, I guess. Yeah, that actually looks like it's a good pile, because the Think Twice goes in the graveyard or their hand if they want the 3 cards. And they took the lands. Alright, they're going for the Think Twice, which still doesn't kill Dramoka. Unless they have a free spell or something. Let's get Titania first, while it's uncounterable, just in case something goes wrong. And then I'll play Sakura Tribuilder. I don't know if I attack with this Scavenging Ooze. Probably not. I don't know if it's best. We're actually trading down on life here. Maybe, especially since they're eventually going to have more counters than me. It's probably best to just leave the dragon back from now on. I get 7 cards. Draw 3 cards. Oh, actually, I can, I probably could have last turn, given the big ol' wallop with Leshnord. Could I have? I needed Titania to get that extra land, so I only had 6 lands. So no. But next turn I can Leshnord as long as Captain Sisay sticks around, and Dragon Lord Dramoka for that matter. Into the Royal. Alright. Yeah, definitely trading down on life here. I'm going to sack this. Get a forest. That's all there is. Let's play Crucible Worlds. Let's attack. Let's replay Captain Sisay. I might wait till my upkeep to play this Worldly Tutor because of the Dragon Lord Jamoka if they deal with Captain Sisay again. They probably have a lot of bounce spells. It's hard to get ahead on life with his lifelinker. Alright, I believe this probably just wins. They can't play any cards on my turn. Yeah. Awesome. Alright, I got another match. I am on the play. This guy is usually playing like Timna or Leovold. Narset this time. I'm definitely mulliganing this hand. Ugh. Alright. I don't think I want that. So it might be hard to beat Narset, especially on a mold of 5. Hey, opponent had a bit of connection issues. I drew 3 visits. So I'm going to secure a Tribe Elder because it means I can cast both of these spells next turn. And just say go. I'd like to Recruiter of Guard for Gaddock, because I've learned from experience, like, that can shut down a lot of the free draws they would otherwise get from Narset. It doesn't shut down their Pyroclasm type effects, unfortunately. We can get Plains pretty safely. Let's 3 visits. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, sure. Let's get... That one's always tapped. This one is 2 or more basic lands. We'll play Temple Garden tapped. Say go. So this doesn't really do anything. It actually can stop a Pyroclasm if I have enough mana untapped. Everflowing Chalice. And then another Mana Rock. Opponent is ramping really hard, and I actually ramped pretty hard. But man, they're there faster than I am. I don't want to take any chances. I'm just going to go straight for the Recruiter of the Guard into Gaddock instead of playing Captain Sisay. Let's hope we don't get Wrathed. By that I mean Pyroclasm or Anger of the Gods or Sweltering Suns. Put a +1/+1 counter. You can't do the target creature you don't control. +1/+1 counter isn't enough to kill Narset. Oh, that's not good. That gives them a much better chance of hitting a spell that they actually can cast. And I hit Forest. Alright, well let's just play Captain Sisay and say go. It's not much. I mean, the Jit's not gonna get there. Alright, it might have been alright. I could have re-equipped it and made their blocks pretty bad. I don't know. Doesn't feel great. See Beyond. I don't think I want to throw Gaddock Teague in with the blocks. I think it's going to be too valuable. Although it depends on what they draw with their swing. Because I could technically kill Narset. Yep. That's not great. Capture, Day of Judgment, Grim Monolith, Thirst for Knowledge. Alright. Beacon, Oust. Oh, they hit Oust. And then they can just cast all those other spells. As soon as they oust Gaddock Teague. Yep. GG. Nothing you can do with that. Alright, got another game. I'm on the draw. I'm against Leovold. My hand is really good. Might lose some of these mana creatures. But we have a lot of them. Although Leovold tends to have a lot of removals, so we might not get Captain Sisay sticking around. I'm trying to decide which one I want to go for. Llanowar Elves is most valuable, but it also taps for green if they like Wasteland me or something like that. Maybe I should just go for a Forest. I think I do want to go for a Forest. But still the Llanowar Elves. It opens up my mana for other things next turn, as long as they don't kill it. If they kill it, that's unfortunate. Duress hits nothing. Cavern of Souls. Command Tower. I don't think I want the Run My Nap just yet. Let's play the Druid. And the Visionary? I mean, they both get value. Yeah, let's get the Visionary because of Leovold. Alright. Expedition map can get us a Cavern of Souls. Alright, there's Leovold. good as Captain Sisay is, I could lose like my whole... I don't know. They haven't shown removal yet. That doesn't mean they don't have it. Yeah, I'm probably not going to lose my whole hand and get removal on Captain Sisay. Expedition map doesn't necessarily have to get Cavern of Souls. It can also get the other piece of the Dark Depths Thespian stage combo. Alright, they have their own Rumman app. What do I want here? It's like the eternal question. Let's see what we can get. I can't cast... I think I just want Gaddock Teague. I think it shuts down a lot of what they want to do. I'm going to play the Rumman app into the removal spell. Or, the days. And say go. Now we have a bunch of mana. I think Dramoka might be my next. So Leshnorn's a little too risky. It doesn't actually kill these creatures anyways. What is this? Alright, so unfortunately the end of this video got corrupted for some reason. So my opponent played Trigon Predator. And passes the turn. So I drew a Benevolent Bodyguard. So I mentioned last time that Leshnorn seemed a little bit risky, so I decided to go for the Dramoka. But I played the Bodyguard first. I probably should have played the Dramoka first, because you can't counter it and then they can't act afterwards. They might have been able to, I don't know, Benevolent Bodyguard's pretty good at protecting things, but... so I tap my mana a little funky. And I realize I haven't actually gone and gotten the Dragonlord Dramoka yet. And then I play Dragonlord Dramoka, which they can't counter. It blocks Trigon Predator. Hopefully, I mean, they need 2 removal spells. And they haven't had a removal spell for Captain Sisay yet. And then the worst case scenario is they Trigon Predator the Expedition map, which, you know, I don't want to have happen, but it seems super unlikely. My opponent does nothing for their turn. And so now I can safely Leshnorn. So I go and get her. I add up my mana. I realize I don't want to tap 2 of my elves. So I untap first, play the sack the Verdant Catacombs. Then I have to tap 1 elf. Then I attack with, I go through and I one by one decide I actually want to attack with everything. Because these are at best a 1/1 and at worst a 0/1. So there's not really any threat. They could maybe deal with my Leshnorn, but I do have the Benevolent Bodyguard. Seems super unlikely. And they decide not to block with anything, which takes them down to 2 life. And I believe they just concede from there. Yep. So, managed to get through Leovold. Alright, I got another match. I am on the play. I am playing against Thalia. This hand actually doesn't... I'm going to mulligan this hand. This hand is arguably better. And that I definitely want. Alright, let's, I don't know what I start with here. This, I guess. I don't know how much it matters. Let's play the brush land. Play this thing. Let's attack. Do I mana tithe Thalia? No. I don't think I do. Oh, yeah. I should have. I forgot that it makes mana tithe, because like if I had drawn a land, I might have been able to mana tithe, if Thalia weren't in play, removal on this guy. But now Thalia makes it so I can't cast it. Alright, well, we'll see how that turns out. They're attacking. Alright, another Thalia. Alright, let's see what we can get here. Garuk cost an extra mana and just gets attacked. I can crop rotation for Ancient Tomb, play Titania, and get the land back, but then I'm not getting a 5/3 yet. Or I could Swords, or Jit, nothing to put it on. I guess. Or I could Nissa. Nissa's pretty good. Yeah, let's get Nissa. And say go. I'm taking a little bit of damage here. If they have an Armageddon or a Corey or something, we can mana tithe it. Otherwise, we can crop rotate. Does crop rotate get us to... I think it does. Imposing Sovereign, that's fine. Thalia's Lieutenant, least of my worries. It's a lot of damage, but let's crop rotate this thing for an Ancient Tomb. Let's play a Leshnorn. And then Razorverge Thicket. I don't really want to take more damage. I guess it's fine. It's a pretty big blowout. Vanishing light. Alright. It's too bad. But we still have a Captain Sisay in play. Knight of Glory. Alright, let's see what we get here. I think Mocha's better than Titania. Minute 1, 2, 3 to play the Crucible, replay the, and then I can draw Mocha. Because the Crucible flips Nissa. I mean, I could also get a land, but I think I like this better. Oh, it doesn't flip Nissa. And I'm a mana short. I mathed everything wrong. Oh, that's horrible. Alright, let's play that guy. And of course there's a land on top of my library. And we'll just say go. Might have to chump block here. Always watching. Alright, I don't think they get much further than that, do they? Do we just take 8? Yeah, I'm going to take 8. No, I don't need to. Let's kill that because they have shadow. Let's do this first. See what we get. I turned off my own ancient tomb, kind of. So if I 1, 2, 3, 4. Untap 2, then I 1, 2, 3, 4. Untap 2. Yeah, I can actually do that, can't I? So let's get Garuk. Yeah, let's play the Flagstones. That enters the battlefield tapped. Dang it. I am messing up. Well, we can make a legendary creature that enters the battlefield tapped, and another creature that enters. Oh, this is actually messing me up pretty bad. This Thalia. I made a couple mistakes here. I think it's safest to do that, sadly but truly. And we're going to have to chump. But I didn't want one removal spell to kill me. I need a Reclamation Sage. Just open this game right back up. Alright, I'm just going to jump. Probably with this guy. This one that taps for 2 mana. 2 different colors. Thalia's back. Forge Tender. It should be safe to play that one. Reveal the top card of my library. It's a Recruiter of the Guard. Let's attack first. So we can gain this 5 life. Pretty critical. Alright, we're recruiting the guard. Yes. Reclamation Sage. Fairly obvious here. Yeah, okay. A bunch of misplays there, mostly just counting my mana wrong, but managed to find a way there because Elesh Norn is so awesome. Alright, I got another match. I am on the draw. This is a rematch against Talrand. I'm going to keep this hand. Looks pretty good. Opponent has mulliganed to 5. Well, that sucks. What am I going to do there? I'm going to do the awkward thing here. And hope I don't get countered on any of this. Oh, it doesn't hit a forest. Never mind. Or it's got to be a forest, so I can't even play it on anything. Do I want Priest or Sylvan Library? Let's go Priest. It actually has a pretty big upside. Alright, I think I just play... I mean, I really want to get this Sylvan Library on the board, but passing up this seems not good. Alright, they're looking at the cards in their library. Actually, accidentally gave them information ahead of time that this wasn't going to be counterable. They did have a lot of bounce spells the last time I played against them. It's whenever you play another land, so I think I can Hour a Promise and get 2 lands and not sacrifice the City of Traders yet. Alright. Well, we didn't hit anything too special. Do we just get a land? Let's look at our library. Flagstones is pretty good. I think this has the biggest upside. We can worry about other... I couldn't have commit. Could I have? I could have casted Dragon Lord Demoka. Oh. This deck can be difficult. Let's Stoneforge into the counterspell first. This is kind of a must counter. But I'd rather have the Sylvan Library, honestly. Alright, there's the counterspell. Yep. Alright, well they're not playing anything. Yes, please. I'm just gonna pay a bunch of life. I probably should have gotten the dragon first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love big uncounterable things. Blue Sun Zeniths for 2. Okay. Also, the Sylvan Library is pretty incredible against any control matchup. Opponent is capsizing Captain Sisay. Oh. I could have cast that Worldly Tutor and got an Elish Norn. That's green creature. Let's put this on top of my library, put this on top of my library. Let's, yeah, I mean, it's still awesome. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Can't do both, but I can Garruk. Yeah, I can Garruk here. Oh, I overpaid for it, but I had to. Okay. This one and this one. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still can't cast both. But I can Eladamri's Call. It's just, we'll just do the Green Sun Zenith. I was going to do the Hour Promise, but Green Sun Zenith for Primeval Titan does the same thing and more. So it's Dark Depths, Thespian Stage. Just want to put this game completely out of my opponent's reach. And I'm going to cast this on my turn. And get a Leshnor. Opponent, Mind Unbound. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a Lloyd counter, then draw a card for each lore counter. So that's slow. Don't need that. Don't really need, well. I'll play that, which gets rid of the City of Traders, but gives us that. And then we've got the Thespian Stage open. And let's get Wasteland and Dust Bowl. So I can 2, 3, 4. I still have enough mana. I can play Captain Sisay. Plays into like a Cyclonic Rift or something like that, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Cyclonic Rift, I can't actually deal with the Dark Depths Thespian Stage because it's an instant. So maybe we don't go for... Like, I don't need to. My opponent's at 6 life. Alright, opponent packs it in. That one wasn't even close. Alright, I've got another match. I am on the draw. This hand looks not very good. I'm going to mulligan it. Yeah, this one looks better. And I think I want that. Unclaimed Territory. Clearly on Vampire. Alright, Vicious Conquistador. That can do some damage. We'll play the Mystic. Say go. Hopefully we can stem the bleeding after a couple of turns. If this Elvish Mystic dies, it's not going to be particularly good for me. Yeah, that's not particularly good for me. And a Wasteland? Oh, wow. Alright. Going full force after me. Oh, it's got to be a Plains. Yeah, we'll take 2 damage. And then I think the birds is the right play. It's close. Yeah, my opponent hasn't played a land yet. Alright. Let's Take some damage. Well, it's too bad we can't capitalize on that Lotus Cobra. Oh, we can't even... Oh, we can get a Snowland. So yeah, we can... Snowland for Plains. Oh, and it's tapped. Alright, that's still the correct play. I was thinking the other ones that get forests that are untapped. So we take a couple more damage, but my opponent is completely stalled out on mana. Best thing we could draw here would be a fetch land. Alright, that enters the battlefield tapped. Let's go ramping. Forest into Plains. Put the forest into play. Let's play the Plains. Although I maybe should have played the Scattered Groves. I might just block with this Weather Wayfarer. Yeah, I'm 1 mana away from playing this Primeval Titan. I probably should have just played the Scattered Groves. Alright, there's mana for my opponent. Blood Artist, that's not good. Do I block? No, let's not block. Razor Verge Thicket. Not where I wanted to be. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can play this guy, and then I can play the Grove. Always yes, always yield. It's green. I probably should have blocked with the Wayfarer last turn. My life total is pretty valuable here. I would have taken 2 damage from the Blood Artist, but then I don't have to worry about it this turn. They got a removal spell. It's a vampire. Alright. Well, that's not good. Alright, I'm going to take that. If we draw a land, actually, we don't need to draw a land. We lose a bunch of life, though. Oh my god. Might just be too late for Leshnorn. That's 5 life, 6 life. It's going to come down to it. This deck has a decent amount of reach. I think my best option is to push against their life total. Give them a very limited amount of time with which to kill me. Although, Leshnorn, I was going to say, it wipes most of the cards in their deck. So that was an interesting game. I maybe could have saved my life total a little better than that. But still managed to get there. Alright, I got another match. I am on the play. Playing against Drana. And this hand looks alright. I don't have a white land, but I might have to use the expedition map for that. Which is a shame because I have a Thespian stage. We'll see what happens. Opponent plays Swamp and a Chrome Mox. Getting rid of Diabolic Edict into Treacherous Pit Dweller. It has it's an Undying 4/3, but when it comes back, I gain control of it. Weird. All right. I think I'm gonna do this. It's hard to resist the call of the Dark Depths combo. Oh, I guess once it has a +1/+1 counter on it, it doesn't come back. So it's just a cheap creature. As long as you can get a +1/+1 counter on it. I'm just going to go for it. There's not much that Mono Black can do about this. Nope, need the mana. Also don't want to attack anyways. Do I go for the block? They can't have Oust or anything like that. Okay. They get a Council's Judgment. Long way from casting that. Black creatures get +1/+1. Okay. Does my opponent not see it? Keep this one. Put ourselves pretty far behind on lands, but a 21-21. Yeah, I don't think my opponent saw that. I had no idea when I started playing this deck that I would have won that many games on the back of a Leshnorn. The card is obviously very good, but it's also very expensive and not necessarily good in every matchup. But I think the metagame right now, there's a lot of aggro going around, and it's pretty good. And there's a lot less blue going around, so it's not going to get countered as often. And yeah, so I mean, also the fact that Captain Sisay did not die nearly as often as I thought she would. So that happened to work pretty well in my favor. I don't know if the metagame's shifting away from as many, you know, the concentration of removal spells that it used to have. Obviously against Edgar Markov, a high concentration of removal spells isn't very effective. So maybe people are shifting away from that, and that would definitely benefit Captain Sisay. And then obviously Elesh Norn is amazing. The other card that really impressed me was Dragonlord Dromoka. That is in the maybe board for a lot of different decks. You know, in the guide that I saw, they're like, you know, it just didn't make the cut into the 99 all the time. But at the very least, as a way to ensure that your Elesh Norn is going to resolve, and when it does resolve, it does a lot of work. A lot of times, it's like a one-sided board wipe. So, like, being able to make sure your Dragonlord Dromoka is going to, or your Elesh Norn is going to resolve, the Dragonlord Dromoka is always going to resolve. So it's amazing against blue control decks. And then Gaddock Teeg was also pretty impressive. I liked him. I think there were a few times when we just didn't see what was in my opponent's hands, but Gaddock Teeg had actually shut them down. Obviously, against the Narset, they had a God Draw, and in this format, you're gonna, I mean, in Magic in general, there's variance, and you're gonna run against decks that have God Draws, and they just boom, 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 and there's almost nothing you can do to stop. And so, they had the perfect amount of cards. We could have stopped Pyroclasm, Anger of the Gods, Lightning Bolt, anything like that, but they specifically drew Oust. Otherwise, Gaddock Teeg would have shut down like 4 cards. So, yeah, Gaddock Teeg, and I think against the Leovold, I think there were probably a lot of cards in my opponent's hand that they couldn't cast. So it's an interesting deck. I think it's probably like tier 2. Obviously it's quite a bit reliant on the commander, but there is the B plan that you just ramp and play these awesome things. Primeval Titan is always going to be good. There's a couple ways. We saw, I just drew one of the pieces and then drew an expedition map, and I got the Dark Depths combo going on. You can get the Dark Depths combo. It's a 1-card combo with the Hour of Promise. So there's some other avenues to victory if somebody's killing your Captain Sisay over and over again. So it's definitely not the end of the world. So it's an interesting deck, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.